So what is the idea of opioid-free anesthesia? The administration of opioid is a central element in the contemporary anesthesia technique. However, these opioids have a range of side effects. As an alternative, nowadays opioid-free anesthesia is emerging mode of anesthesia and intended to avoid these side effects. So what is the mean of opioid-free anesthesia? It's a technique where no intraoperative, systemic, neuraxial or intracavitary opioids are administered. So why opioid-free anesthesia is new norm? Because opioid-free anesthesia give advantage of optimal perioperative analgesia to reduce pain score, and it enable the earlier mobilization and enhanced rehabilitation, faster patient discharge and improve patient satisfaction by reducing opioid related adverse effect. The Paul Janssen, the founder of Janssen Pharmaceutical and inventor of the synthetic opioid like remifentanil, warned that remifentanil could cause addiction, immunosuppression and other unknown long-term effect, and Janssen refused to bring remifentanil to market under the name of his company. So why opioid-free anesthesia should be used? Because opioid cause these many type of side effects. Acute, these are the few examples. Acute side effect like respiratory depression, dysphoria, nausea, vomiting, skeletal muscle rigidity, smooth muscle spasm, constipation, urinary retention, biliary spasm, pruritus, rash, histamine release, and chronic side effects like tolerance, physical dependence and constipations, etc. Side effect of opioid, especially in neurosurgical patients. The opioid can increase the intracranial pressure. Opioid have potential to interfere with the neurological monitoring. These can cause respiratory depression, which can lead to hypercapnia, and hypercapnia would cause the raised intracranial hypertension, and the opioid can mask the early signs of neurological deterioration. Despite opioids are routinely used in neuroanesthesia head injured patient, but there are many studies which suggest that opioid can cause increased intracranial hypertension. This studies was published in the Frontier of Neurological. The refractory intracranial hypertension due to fentanyl administration following the closed head injury. This is another study in the ACTA Neurosurgica. Effect on intracranial pressure of fentanyl in severe head injured patient, and conclusion was the fentanyl moderately increased ICP and decreased mean arterial pressure and CPP. The cerebral hemodynamic effect of morphine and fentanyl in patient with a severe head injury patient. This study says that there is absence of correlation to the cerebral autoregulation. Conclusion of this study is both opioid means the fentanyl and the morphine, these causes increased intracranial pressure regardless of the autoregulatory capacity of the patients. These are the few other studies which suggest that the opioid can cause the increased ICP. Other opioid side effects are the respiratory depression. As we all know that all opioid agonists produce depression of the respiration via the effect of mu and the delta receptor in the respiratory centers of the brainstem. Reduced responsiveness of the respiratory center to increase carbon dioxide and decreasing oxygen, and higher partial pressure of pCO2 levels are required to maintain the normal respiration. Thus the baseline of level of CO2 is increased in the body. What are the effects of opioids on the upper airway? This is very interesting, that what opioids can cause. Opioids are known to depress both ventilatory and the pharyngeal neuromotor drive, therefore decreasing the airway patency. The opioid activate laryngeal adductor, and what the opioid can cause? These can impair the upper airway caliber. And this was studies. This was found in 6 out of 9 studies. Two studies demonstrate that depression of upper airway reflexes, and another reported that decrease in the respiratory compliances. And all of these studies found that opioid increase the upper airway obstruction. Chronic opioid use also can cause the central sleep apnea. The prevalence of sleep disorder breathing in all population who are receiving the chronic opioid is as high as 42 to 85%. The prevalence of central sleep apnea in all population receiving chronic opioid is much higher than in the general population. This is very interesting. We use opioid for the analgesia, but on the retrospect, what opioid causes? Opioid induce the hyperalgesia. Paradox is patient receiving opioid for the treatment of pain might actually become more sensitive to certain painful stimuli. The chronic opioid consumption produces changes in the CNS similar to the central sensitization. They activate the mu receptor, which increase effectiveness of the glutaminergic receptor at NMDA receptor, resulting in the opioid induced hyperalgesia. And the type of pain experience might be the same as the underlying pain, or it might be different from the original underlying pain. Does fentanyl lead to opioid induced hyperalgesia in healthy volunteer? And the answer was yes, according to this study. Opioid induced hyperalgesia and chronic pain syndrome are more frequent when high doses of opioid are used perioperatively. The retrospective matched cohort study found that higher doses of opioid following surgery were associated with frequent adverse effect and increased length of stay. Another side effect of opioid are the tolerance. This is the opioid paradox. The more opioid you give intraoperatively, the more opioid you will require postoperatively. And these are the two studies which were published in anesthesiology, this article and this is a review article. The opioid free total intravenous anesthesia reduces post-operative nausea, vomiting. This study was done in the bariatric patient. The brain dysfunction is certainly less in the neonates when opioids are avoided. Post-operative urinary retention are less frequent when the opioid-free anesthesia was used. Shivering and feeling cold when waking up are also less common after opioid-free anesthesia. The misuse and abuse of the opioid, as we all know that opioid prescription following surgery can lead to long-term use and can be a significant source of misuse and abuse. The surplus unconsumed opioid can be misused by the patients or by the others. In most of the centers, responsibility of procurement and record keeping of opioid is in the hand of the young anesthesiologists and residents. And due to various factors like work stress, away from home, charm for new experience, this is the population who are the most vulnerable for the opioid abuse and misuse. Day by day, the rules and audit of the narcotic departments are getting tighter. Sometimes it's difficult for anesthesiologists to maintain foolproof record in the midst of their busy schedule, which can create serious legal troubles. If we could eliminate the need for the opioid for neurosurgical patient, it would help in improving post-operative neurological examination significantly, and it would lead decreased investigation, example CT scan, due to more reliable clinical examinations. The alternative of opioids, these can be used: nerve blocks, ketamine, gabapentin, dexmedetomidine, lidocaine, magnesium sulfate, NSAIDs, paracetamol, dexamethasone and beta blocker. These are as a sole or in combination can be used as a replacement for the opioid. These are the two theses which we are conducting in our department as the opioid-free anesthesia. This study, the comparison of USG guided bilateral elector spine block versus control for intraoperative hemodynamic stability and postoperative analgesia in the spine surgery. And this is the another study, comparison of analgesic efficacy and duration of skull block using ketamine and dexmedetomidine as adjuvant to bupivacaine this is a prospective randomized double blind studies we are conducting in our department. So opioid have been the mainstay and they have played a great role in the anesthesia, but at a point of time everyone have to be retired, and I think this is the time when the newer agents and newer technique should take their place. Thank you very much.